We are 49 hours away from the AFC Championship. It's almost here. There's a lot to talk about. Maybe some more about Stiddy, but I think we've kind of covered all the Stiddy stuff. Although Ryan did say he wants to talk about the thing that nobody is talking about, which really could be anything. So we'll see what that is. We're going to hear from Zac. It's going to be a big show starting in about 30 seconds. This is the DNVR Broncos Podcast, the final DNVR Broncos Podcast before game day, presented by our friends over at Bet365 as always, where if you deposit $10, place a $5 bet, you can get $200 in bonus bets. It's also presented by our new friends out at Rally House, where you can shop the most outrageous selection of Broncos gear in-store, and there's 6 Denver and Boulder area locations online at rallyhouse.com. You guys were just over there.
We were. I will confirm it is outrageous.
Both these hats we're wearing.
Oh, those are good ones.
Yeah, you like them?
Yeah. How'd you decide on the colors? Because they're the same hat. You could. Yeah.
I just didn't have a hat that was this color, and I liked it. I felt like it was rugged.
It is rugged.
And I got greedy. I needed a old school D. I needed a rope hat.
Needed the old school D.
Yeah.
I wish you were there, Hank. You maybe could have
Yeah, me too. I didn't really get that invite.
And
Yeah.
tomorrow's your birthday.
It sure is. Could have used a hat.
If we knew that and we liked you, we would have got you stuff.
Right. But you do have like a bag of stuff that you do.
You're right. We do have a bag of stuff.
Right. Turns out we don't just like you. We love you.
Oh, wow. It actually is for me. What's it? What is it? It could be anything.
How to get Hank hooked up at Rally House.
Oh, wow.
Tell the people what
A
you
Broncos hat. We love a Broncos. Oh, it's like, I like the inside of this. Yes. It's different than yours. You didn't want me to match.
Yeah.
It's a good hat, though.
We both went through every hat they had there, and that was the most you.
No, that's a good one. Oh, there's a little, what are these? Ball marks and a divot tool.
That's right.
Wow. It doesn't really feel like golf weather, but it will be
It'll
soon.
be eventually.
Yes. And
I
then
mean, it was until like 2 days ago.
it was. Oh, that's a good one. Super Bowl 32. Oh, wow. So much good stuff at Rally House.
So,
Wow.
Happy birthday, Hank.
Well, thank you.
Shout out to Rally House. Go Broncos.
Yeah.
Wow. Go Broncos. I'm not going to change on air. I think that'd probably be a bad idea.
It is crazy that hat. You just put on already the right.
Yeah, I have a super normal sized head. Ears are a little small, but the head is just like kind of the standard. Yeah.
Let it hook up. Tune into the watch along, because I think you too may have a chance to get hooked up by Rally House. That's
Yes.
a little teaser, we call that.
Okay. We like a teaser.
Surprise you there? Are you happy?
No, I'm very happy.
You know, Super Bowl 32, much like Super Bowl 50,
This.
2 Super Bowls the Broncos won with important contributions from their backup quarterbacks. I don't know
Right.
if you knew this, Buddy Brister in that Super Bowl 32 season, and of course Brock Osweiler in the Super Bowl 50 season.
Yeah.
I guess relatable to this year, huh?
Very relatable to this year. Also,
The science.
related to some big news, maybe my favorite piece of news that we have gotten week, and that is that John Elway is going to be the honorary captain on Sunday, which is just perfect.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
everybody here knows John Elway. If you're watching the show, you know all about John Elway. But I mean, perfect in home AFC Championship games. Only one loss in them overall out in Buffalo. And to have that guy on the field is just perfect. Especially what we know with Aqib Talib last week, giving the speech to the team. You would imagine that this means Elway's going to be in the building the day before the game, giving that sort of speech. And I mean, there is nothing more perfect than this being Elway. Oh, one more thing. Patriots fans yesterday were so excited because news broke that Adam Vinatieri was going to be their game day captain. Isn't that so perfect? Like, they have their second best kicker in their history, and everybody's fired up. Like, we're going to have our second best kicker. Remember, they can't have the best kicker, the guy with the most field goals made, the guy with the best field goal percentage, the guy with the most rings, because he played the 2 AFC championship games in Denver. didn't win either. They lost the second one because they needed the 2-point conversion because he had missed the extra point.
Yep.
So they've got their second best kicker, and the Broncos have one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, and they're just going to be staring each other down on the field.
And might I argue the greatest quarterback in AFC Championship history?
Yeah.
Obviously, Tom has won more.
Right.
But in terms of what John Elway had to do in those AFC championships,
Right.
the comebacks, the drive,
Right.
the teams that he was winning AFC championships with, I think you could make the argument that that's the greatest AFC championship quarterback ever.
I think you probably could.
It's huge. I bought a hat at Rally House that was a Nuggets hat, but it inspired me because it's the same logo and colorway of Elway doing the "Let's get ready to Mutombo."
Yep.
And they also won that. That's in the epic, 5-game comeback against the 1 seed
Right.
Sonics.
Right.
You know what I love about that video?
What?
Is before everyone cared.
Yeah.
Like I just can't really imagine Bo Nix getting that into it.
It's a real testament to monoculture.
It's like
Also, you could just see John's the man.
he wasn't trying to be cool.
Yeah.
He just was.
He's not getting hate online, because that wasn't a thing.
What a cornball.
Right. He just knows that he's the man and he's acting
And
like
he
it.
has the
Yeah.
entire city on a string.
That's exactly right.
Yep.
Which again, I think social, you get into the comments a little too much. It starts to seep into you not being the man necessarily.
Yeah. Beautiful thing.
It is.
Terrible.
And by the way, the graphic that the Broncos used to announce that John Elway will be the honorary captain is that picture goes harder than maybe any Broncos picture I've ever seen.
Do we have that, Alyssa?
What's the picture? It's the one you put in Broncos assignments?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
I mean, it is perfect. And you just imagine before the game, the Elway hype video that they play, clips from the drive. And that's the thing
my
about
God,
an
you're giving me
athlete.
chills.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
An athlete like John Elway is that you can make a specific AFC championship hype video, because there's so many highlights. You can go through the drive game, the fumble game. It's like Nikola Jokic. If you make a Nikola Jokic hype video, there's so many different plays that you could include that you could go with a theme. You could narrow it down to just here's just first round of the playoffs. And that's what they get to do is just get everybody fired up about John Elway, have him march out to mid. And the Patriots can't even have can't have Tom Brady out there with him because Tom Brady is an owner of another team now.
Yeah.
So
It's
that wasn't even
glorious.
an option because that
It's
would be electric having
glorious.
John Elway and Tom Brady out there at midfield before the game. But that's not even allowed at this point because their GOAT left him. He decided to go to the Bucks
For
and now
the
he's on
team
part of the
he
team.
screwed over on the tuck rule.
Totally.
Which is insane.
It's so good.
Another epic AFC championship.
Yeah.
The pick is up there, Dre.
Yeah. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
That was us exiting Rally House.
That
But
does
not
look like us
Lombardi
exiting Rally
trophies, more like hats and hoodies and t-shirts. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about the thing that nobody's talking about?
I do want to talk about
Okay.
the thing that I was talking about.
I'm on pins and needles.
Why is nobody talking about the fact that this is Drake Maye's first ever road game in the playoffs?
I think I brought it up.
Literally no one has until right now.
I think I mentioned.
I don't get why
Scrap the
that's
footage
not a big
production.
I actually do get it. The Stiddy storyline is so juicy and there's so much uncovered information about Jarrett Stidham that people are digging high and low. I don't know if you saw the clip that came out from Pardon My Take this morning, but people are literally digging for anything they can find on Jarrett Stidham and maybe finding some interesting stuff. But because of that, it's just we have lost the plot that there's other stuff happening here, including the fact that Drake Maye, for the first time ever, has to go on the road in the playoffs, and he's going to be coming into a freezing Mile High with a insane rabid fan base that wants this so bad. And he's going to have to do stuff that he just never does. We did this against Josh Allen last week. Josh Allen has been there, done that when it comes to road playoff games in tough environments. He knows the tricks and he can get up to the line quickly and make the little adjustments that he made. I do not think that Drake Maye is ready for that. And I think that's going to play a large role in this game.
Well, and the fact that Brady's never won in the playoffs here.
Right.
So what makes you think Drake Maye could?
Right.
That's just a house of horrors for that franchise.
It'd be funny to say you could Peyton Manning. You could talk to Jarrett Stidham about what this is like, but you wouldn't really want Tom Brady talking to Drake Maye to Drake Maye about what this is like.
Right. Because he can only
Keep that guy
recap
away from him.
losses. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just completely scarred, and all I can think about is like, yeah, it's gonna be really, really hard.
Drake Maye's idol, Cam Newton.
Is that his idol?
Oh,
Well, he does the Superman.
Right.
He was a Panthers. Cam Newton.
he was a Panthers fan.
But Cam did
Grew
have
up
a
in
good
North-
record in the playoffs against the Broncos, right?
Cam Newton,
Biggest game of his career.
no,
He came. Oh,
I'm not sure he did.
oh, wait.
0-1, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
0-1.
Huh, crazy.
Is that same as Brady?
What?
No, Brady got one against the Broncos. He got the Tebow game.
In
There
the
might be a
playoffs?
couple, yeah.
Yeah, it's just on the road
So
in
Newton
the playoffs.
even worse than Brady
Right.
is the answer.
Right.
Yep.
And then I
Yeah.
think overall, the Broncos are the only team
Yep.
he doesn't have a winning record against.
Yeah.
Just like the Nuggets and LeBron.
Exactly.
Kind of fun. Also, somebody on Twitter said that when the weather's cold, it makes the altitude have more of an effect because of the amount of oxygen in the air. I'm not a scientist, and I don't really trust just a random tweet, but it's fun to think about.
As
One
far as on
time-
this set, you kind of are our scientist, though.
I am the closest.
I would agree.
One time I went to an outdoor concert in the mountains in the cold, and like, you're jumping around, doing all that, dancing, and like, I do remember being like, ow, it hurts to breathe this air right now. Like, it burns.
Wow.
I need a rest. So
Well-
that's probably what they're going to feel.
Hopefully that is what they feel. We got a lot to talk about, including who needs to step up for the Broncos to win this game, other than Jarrett Stidham, because I think that's a big one. We're going to get into that after we give a shout out to some of our friends. Shout out to my friends over at Ent Credit Union, where if you're looking for a new bank, that's the place to go. They've got all sorts of cool perks. They're the official banking partner of the Denver Broncos. So if you want to sign up for the Broncos checking account, you can get a cool card like this one. This is the Pat Surtain card. And they've got a bunch of cool deals that go along with it, including if you get the Pat Surtain card, then they will give $50 to Children's Hospital Colorado. It's part of the interception program, and also donates $1,000 to Children's Hospital Colorado for every interception. $6,000 for every pick six. So you can make an even bigger win for the community by just getting the card. There's other perks as well. Game day discounts, no surprise fees, chance to win Broncos gear and tickets just by using your Broncos debit card. If you're ready to bank like a Bronco and support a great cause, head over to ent.com/DNVR to learn more. And should buy NCUA, membership required, account requires associated Ent Broncos debit card. Ent will make the one-time donation on your behalf. This donation is not sourced. Also, want to give a shout out to our friends over at Benihana. It's our first time getting to talk about Benihana, but they've got a bunch of specials. You guys probably know all about it. I first learned about it in the Office episode where they all go to Benihana. But the $3, $6, $9 happy hour is an awesome special. It starts at just $3. So you can get specialty rolls, cocktails, premium bites, all sorts of different options Monday through Friday in Denver and Broomfield from 3 to 6. Also have the hibachi grill. So you get to see everything that's happening right in front of you. It's more than just a meal. It's an experience. They have the shrimp toss, the onion volcano, beating heart fried rice. They put on a show that comes along with your meal, and they're awesome for Valentine's Day. So if you're looking for an option there, February 9th through 16th, they've got a bunch of Valentine's Day specials. Go check them out. They have premium steaks from around the world. Even better when you finish them with one of their favorite butters, the hot honey lobster wagyu umami or truffle. Make your reservation and find out more information at benihana.com. Back into the DNVR Broncos podcast presented by our friends over at Bet365, where you can bet $5, get $200 in bonus bets. And our friends over at Rally House, where you can get all the best gear for game day from one of their 6 stores in the area. We are in the Toyota Lounge also. You guys are in the Toyota chat. Shout out to Toyota. We love Toyota.
Toyota forever.
We should hit the headline outside of Jarrett Stidham, because we know that he needs to play well. Which Denver Broncos have to step up for them to be able to beat the Patriots?
Go ahead.
That's my T-Rex. That's Will Campbell.
I was hoping that was Will
short
Campbell.
arms. And we saw him, the Patriots starting left tackle, be put in absolute hell by Will Anderson last week.
Yep.
And Nik Bonitto is going to do the exact same. He was my key to the game last game, and had a nice sack beating a double team, had that key fumble that really swung the end of the half and put the Broncos up 10. So did have a big game, maybe not as big as I hoped.
Yeah.
Right.
2 forced fumbles, a sack, and a tackle for loss.
Yeah, no, that's
What
actually
were you hoping for?
It shows you what a high
That's an
standard
elite game.
I hold him to. I think you need about the same, if not even a teensy bit more, but those 2 forced fumbles would be crucial.
You're right.
And if you can do that against this Pats offensive line that definitely on the outside, on the edges, the bookends rather, is where they struggle the most, and we're put in hell by Danielle Hunter as well. For the exactly. Why would he be called Danielle? That's my one for today.
I'll let you say whatever.
Yeah. That's really a key, is starting with Nik Bonitto, but the outside pass rush. And coming around the edge, forcing those fumbles.
Right. I mean, in this game in particular, like you said, with Will Campbell, you have the combination of a short-armed rookie tackle and a small-handed quarterback. And when you hear that, you would think, oh, got to be a lot of fumbles. Drake Maye led the NFL in fumbles this year. He's fumbled 6 times in the past 2 games and has been sacked 5 times.
Yeah.
And the Broncos' pass rush is better than the Texans. It's better than the Chargers.
Well, and as someone who just stood outside for an hour right next to the Broncos stadium, I couldn't feel my hand.
Right.
So that's probably not going to help him.
This was a story that I was going to save for the pregame show. But since you brought that up, I was talking to the punter yesterday. I was like, what's it like punting?
He has a name.
Jeremy Crawshaw.
Hell yeah.
But the punter. I was talking to the punter yesterday, and I was like, yeah, what's it like punting in the cold? And he hasn't really punted in the cold before, from Emu Plains, Australia, of course.
Yes.
Yep.
And then University of Florida, SEC.
Yep.
He said there was like late season game against Missouri, gets kind of cold, but obviously not this cold. So the past couple of nights, he's been going outside
I love this.
and getting his hands as cold as he can, and then going back inside to practice dropping the football with cold hands.
Well, I feel like he needs to punt some too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that also comes along with it, but he's mostly thinking about the
opportunity
hands.
today at practice.
Right. Yeah.
And they got to practice outdoors today, right?
I'm curious. Luckily, we'll have Zac Stevens joining the show.
Better, man.
Now,
About
it is
25 minutes.
funny because Zach's favorite quote to reference from Vance Joseph,
True.
when it's cold, it's tough, comes from a day where they were going to be playing a cold weather game and they decided to practice inside. And he was asked why, and he said, when it's cold, it's tough.
What a line.
That was not exactly confidence inspiring at the time.
No.
I'm curious because Sean is an offensive coach. I feel like an offensive coach would be like, let me get inside and like get some real work. But we haven't played in a game like this. We haven't had a practice like this. This is the coldest it's been
Yep.
since the beginning of the season by far.
Yeah. It's been
So
the warmest Broncos season ever as far as home games.
I think that if it was a defensive coach, it would be 100% chance they're practicing outside, except for Vance Joseph. I think that they practice outside. They gotta.
Yeah, I think so. Zach will give us the scoop when he gets on here in a second. Who else needs to step up?
Yeah.
Nik
Who are your
Bonitto is
guys?
one of them for
Yeah.
sure.
Yep.
I think that's probably the first place I go as well. There is some news from the Patriots side. They won't have Harold Landry for this game, out with a knee injury. He only 8.5 sacks, but for teams like the Patriots and not the Broncos, that's enough to lead the team in sacks.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. So he's out. One of the complaints with Jarrett Stidham is that maybe he holds on to the ball a bit, maybe takes a couple sacks, at least in comparison to Bo Nix, who doesn't take hardly
leads
any
the
sacks.
league, yeah.
So maybe it's no longer Garrett Bowles needs a great day because no more Landry on the other side.
Yeah, I'm going to throw out J.K. Dobbins, and there's a little bit of hopium in this.
Yeah.
But if you get J.K. Dobbins on the field and he has a good game, that to me is like the path of least resistance to a Broncos win. It's just like J.K. goes out there and he has, I'm going to be conservative here, 14 carries for 90 yards. And like that is enough to be able to come out of the game saying we ran the ball great. It's enough to get Stidham in a play action where he is at his best and just makes the whole situation more comfortable. Not to mention the cold also, unfortunately, we have to play it in it as well. So
facts.
You're going to have to run the ball. You're going to have to run the ball successfully, and having J.K. Dobbins would be a massive lift.
Run game really a key on both sides, no?
Yeah.
So I think the run defense with the heavier fronts, which we were talking about throughout the watch along, they were doing a lot better with Uzurike.
You got to the end.
Oh, Uzurike. Yep. I remember scouting him at Iowa State, but his name does give me trouble.
Let's go 96.
So it's defending the run, but with the lighter 4-man fronts.
Yep.
So DJ Jones, Malcolm Roach, Zach Allen, when it's just 2 defensive tackles on the field and not a nose, and 2 5-techs, being able to win those more often than you lose those in stopping the run, I really think is a key, because if, skinny Ramondre or Travion Henderson get going, that's going to make Drake Maye a lot more comfortable, and everything Ryan was talking about gets lessened a little bit because you've allowed him to ease into things, feel more comfortable, be able to play off the play action and all the rest of that. If instead you're putting them in hell and you're able to stop the run with just a 4-man front, you've really got a huge edge.
Do you claim Ramondre in the Dre?
No, I think that's too many letters before the Andre. Usually it's like a D apostrophe, D-E, DeAndre will accept. The Russian Andre.
An entire name before it, Ramon.
Yeah.
Well, but there's also, a lot of it is Andre. So it's really just the rum that's added. It's only the 4 letters, because the rest of it is Rum Andre.
But Andre's only 5 letters, so you've almost doubled.
That's true.
If you go to the Caribbean, calling you Ramondre.
That'd be sick, bro. I'd be all in on that. I'm due for a new Nickety anyways.
Yeah.
What are your keys, Hank?
Trenches are the big one, because I think it's been weird watching this Patriots team the past couple of weeks, because for so much of the year, they don't really get much of a pass rush. That defensive front doesn't look all that good. But then you go up against 2 offensive lines that don't belong to be in the playoffs, and they look awesome. They're able to beat up on the Texans. They're able to beat up on the Chargers.
Right.
And so have they found a formula that works for them? Has, Christian Barmore finally found his... Milton Williams, have they figured out how to work together? Maybe that's the case. I see the other 17 games where they weren't all that good and say, I think that's what this team is. I think that they've just kind of gotten lucky to not be going up against one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. But going out there and proving that is going to be huge, because obviously that's how you protect Stidham. That's how you run the football. And then same thing on the other side, where the Texans were able to go get Drake Maye. I think you get that offense on the road, you should be able to do the exact same thing this week. And if you win the trenches on both sides, you probably win this game.
Love it. I want to throw in Riley Moss.
Ooh.
Because I think he's going to be heavily targeted.
Yep. He does too.
Yeah, I know. My new least favorite type of content is analyzing the refs.
Yeah.
I keep seeing these videos that pop up that they're like, here's the head ref and here's what he does. I don't want to know that. But unfortunately, I did see one.
Yeah.
And they talked about how this head ref, whose name I can't remember, which is a good thing for him, he calls defensive pass interference as his 3rd most called penalty.
Wow.
And so I'm worried about that. Last week, though, the refs just swallowed the whistle. And what's crazy is everyone liked that.
Yeah.
Like during the middle of the game, it was like at one point, I think in the 3rd quarter, both teams had 3 penalties for 15 yards. Mm-hmm. And it was just like so pleasant.
Yeah, it was
so I think that
glorious.
that was probably an initiative across the league. Like, hey, try to tone back penalties a little bit in the playoffs. At the same time, though, obviously the Broncos got 2 very timely pass interferences at the end of the game. Like they will call that if you don't give them a choice. Riley's got to lock in. He knows it. Everyone knows it. And I think that the Patriots are going to try to target him. The one positive, though, is like if they're going to try to go down the field with Booty on Riley Moss, you're going to have to hold the ball. And that's going to give those pass rushers opportunities.
Well, and who's Pat going to be on if Riley's on Booty?
Diggs.
But Diggs is operating more from the slot, no?
It's true.
Now, again,
but Demario Douglas has some slot stuff.
Okay.
They rotate a little.
Akib said put Pat on Booty.
That's what I would think too. And I mean, let's see what Jaquan and Hufanga can do, with Diggs in the slot. And then if you need to switch that up, switch it up.
Yeah. And most likely Vance is going to do a whole bunch of different things.
And regardless of who who Riley gets matched up on, they're going to take their shots at him.
They are.
Yeah.
And, I
No,
mean,
for sure.
the Bills did it too in one of the biggest moments of the game.
Right.
Lucky for us, Riley played at Iowa. He knows a thing or two about cold weather.
It's
games.
not
Yes.
cold.
Yes.
You mentioned how it's even colder there than it is here right now.
It's a good point.
Oh, yeah. That's frigid, humid cold, too.
I just have this visual of Jeremy Crawshaw just standing outside, just like waiting for his hands to get cold.
I know.
I can't stop thinking about it.
Yeah. No, I was reading through it again. I was like, he really just said, like, I'll just go outside, wait for my hands to get cold.
His wife's like, what are you doing?
Getting my hands cold. Yeah.
Probably said with an Australian accent. It's even more hilarious.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'll throw one more out there. I've been struggling to figure out which receiver I think needs to have a big game. Because you start with Sutton. He's going to have Christian Gonzalez on him most of the day. If you win that matchup, that's another one where, again, you're outmatched there. And if you win that one, that's a huge win for the offense, but I can't expect it. So I can't make it like he needs to step up. Marvin had the big game.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that he's an option, but I almost go back to Pat Bryant because I think he's going to play at this point. A full
is
participant yesterday.
That's huge.
Insane.
You wonder if this last concussion was they pulled him out more for like precautionary.
That's
like,
it's the only way that I think
It's
we
the-
could be where we are right now.
right. It has to be for him to be full participant.
But at the
yesterday.
same time, like they targeted him on what? 3 of the first 4 plays?
Yeah.
So like they took him out for precaution when he was that big of a part of the game plan. Is kind of crazy.
also,
Heavily
yeah,
featured.
But I guess they believed in Lil Jordan and he kind of paid that off.
yeah, kind of faded off.
Pat and Stidham had a nice little connection in preseason.
They
going
did.
back to watch some of that.
I think that's the guy I circle
That's
I
when Benny was like losing his mind about Pat.
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
He was. That was so fun. But no, I think Pat Bryant could have a big day.
I had an omen yesterday. I texted Hank and
good.
Benny about this. I just accidentally left YouTube running on my TV yesterday when I went to work. And so then it just goes into the algorithm and is playing. When I got home, it was playing our watch along from Broncos Niners in the preseason when City went off. And I was like, this is an omen.
Meant to be. Holy cow.
That's an omen. We've got to make our picks for I get only 2 games this week, which is a little bit disappointing. Only 3 football games left. College football's over.
I know,
2
brother.
championship games in the
I
Super
know.
Bowl.
It comes so fast.
It does.
What about the Grey Cup? When's that?
We'll
think that's
I'll
like
have that on
October.
the other side
You missed
for
it
you.
already?
yeah, I think you missed that one. Try again next time. But yeah, we'll talk about those on the other side. Denver football fans know what a winning season takes. It's talent, teamwork, showing up week after week after week. And at Rocky Mountain Cancer Centers, that winning mindset has guided them for 30 years, more than 30 years, actually. They're Colorado's leading cancer specialists. They treat more adult cancer than anybody else in the state. And so whatever situation you might be in, whether you've been diagnosed with cancer, whether you're just looking to go get checked, Rocky Mountain Cancer Centers is the place to go. It's why they're the top brand in Colorado. It's the place where we go. They're huge sports fans, so they make it easy to relate to you. And like we said, it's all about showing up, being consistent, creating those relationships. And when you're dealing with something like cancer, it's great to have people who you trust to be at your side, behind you for the entire journey. So when you want to go to the team that Coloradans trust to never back down, stand with you for every up and down, Rocky Mountain Cancer Centers, it's the place to go. It's the official sponsor of Denver sports fans. Also, want to give a shout out to our friends over at Xfinity. Xfinity is awesome for so many reasons. They have great Wi-Fi, so if you live in a house with a bunch of devices, you might have your phone going, your laptop, iPad, Xbox, TV, all sorts of different things plugged in. And the cool part about their smart Wi-Fi is that it will direct its signal to the devices that need it most. So when you're gaming and need a great connection, it will make sure that is covered because, again, it requires the most Wi-Fi. My favorite part, of course, is that you can lock in your price for 5 years. A 5-year price guarantee is rare to find, but Xfinity has it. No annual contracts, no hidden fees. It's just Xfinity's very best Wi-Fi and best equipment. So go check it out. Lock in your price. Unlock the possibilities with Xfinity. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply.
It was against the Raiders. Spillane was
Yep.
up.
We're back.
We're back into the DNVR Broncos podcast presented by our friends over at Bet365 and our friends over at Rally House. Also, we still have tickets available, at least last I checked this morning, for the tailgate on Sunday.
Yes.
Which is going to be a lot of fun.
All time.
Yep.
And we have secured several heaters.
Yes.
And I'm not talking about cigarettes.
No.
The ones that keep you warm.
Oh, I too.
I could tell by
I
your
was
face.
really confused. I was like, what?
Do cigarettes not keep you warm?
No,
No, they
really.
don't.
No.
Interesting.
And bad for
They
your
make you cold because you have to
circulation.
go outside when it's cold.
Right.
Well, and then bad for your circulation, so then your toes
Oh,
and
really?
fingies get extra cold.
Yeah, stay away from those.
Yep, it's true.
All right, you had another matchup that you thought was going to be big.
Robert Spillane against Evan Ingram. Spillane in the membrane. I think Ingram will be a favorite target of Stidham's. And I think the spine of their defense, especially their back seven, can be exploited by Ingram. We saw a lot of multi-tight end sets in that Bills game, maybe even too many. And Prentice lining up out wide or being used as a tight end. Nate Adkins being put out wide because then they didn't have enough wide receivers. Right. So I think you're still going to see a lot of multi-tight end. Regardless, you might be short on wide receivers, which means more snaps for Ingram, and I think he will be a favorite target of Stidham's, and I think their defense is exploitable specifically against the tight ends.
Real quick, Coach Chris in the comments asked, how do you get tickets for the tailgate? Go to thednvr.com/events, or you can just Google DNVR AFC Championship tailgate.
Also, if you become a diehard, discounts, get a free shirt.
Playoff sale.
Yep.
Still the playoffs.
Henry's killing it on the content. Zach
on
killing it on the content. I'm wearing my Orange Rush shirt today.
Oh.
You don't have to.
Okay, thank you.
We believe
it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
I really have
in the bar.
I have a really good feeling about Evan Ingram in this one.
Me
Feels
too.
like he just never got the chemistry down with Bo. Bo obviously had existing chemistry with a lot of other guys out there. And it felt like Stiddy had something going with Evan Ingram in the preseason.
There's that big play up the sideline.
Yep.
He hits him in stride. He's able to run for a 50-yard gain.
So, especially with everyone kind of coming in with a clean slate for him, except for maybe like Michael Bandy or something like that if they play, or Brandon Johnson, who I noticed was out there. Lil Jordan Humphrey, who he's thrown a touchdown to. I feel like you might just have an eye for Evan Ingram out there.
I do too.
Especially if they get the run game going, they can get play action off of that.
I like the thought process, but every time I felt good about Evan Ingram, I've been let down.
I know.
Just every time. But
you didn't feel good about him before the Commanders game?
I must not have. It's about probably like 10 times I've been like, okay, this is the one. And it just hasn't really ever happened.
No, it's weird.
Yep. But this could be the one. It'd be nice if it was the one. One more thing on the receivers.
Huge.
So we don't know whether Troy Franklin's going to play. We don't know officially whether Pat Bryant's going to play. If the Broncos have to go into the practice squad receivers, Elijah Moore, Michael Bandy, and now Brandon Johnson, who do you call up? Which of those three stands out?
Very easily Bandy to me.
Yeah.
Okay. That was very easy.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I guess it's Bandy.
Yeah, get Bandy open. He's got that quickness.
He does.
He can do it. And then if you need an extra help in the return game, right? He can do that too. Which
that didn't work out so well last time.
no, but still.
Right. That is true.
I would prefer not that.
Got it out of a system.
Worth pointing out that Ingram was third in receiving yards on the team and had 50 catches this season, which is pretty good for a
What
tight
did he
end.
end up with yards?
461.
That's remarkable.
And 76
more like 61.
targets. No, I know.
Yeah. Injury report for the Patriots is out. So Harold Landry won't play because of the knee injury. Marty Mapu, the linebacker, questionable with the hip. Also questionable Carlton Davis with the concussion.
Yeah,
right.
huge. Bless him.
Yeah, a guy who other teams were able to pick on a little bit in the regular season, but has been awesome in the playoffs. Specifically, the speedy type receivers have gotten him. So you get that Mims matchup at Troy Franklin. And then Mac Hollins, who's been on injured reserve for quite a while, is questionable. Not maybe the biggest name. And in his absence, Kayshon Boutte has stepped into that role and looked really good. But I don't want to see Mac Hollins in the playoffs because that's just one of those guys. In the break, I was comparing him. He's like the Alex Caruso or like Jose Alvarado, where he's just annoying. Last year in the Bills playoff game, they're motioning him in the backfield as a lead blocker as a receiver. He has the catch against Pat Surtain where he steps over Pat and Pat kind of grabs at him. Just annoying.
We didn't forget about that.
No, and Pat did not either.
He deserves a little payback for that.
He does deserve payback.
I nominate Talanoa Hufanga.
Okay. I'll nominate Singleton. After that hit last week.
Both of them were great.
Yeah, Hufanga had the hit too. He can get the ball out. Picks for the games. Let's start with the Rams and Seahawks.
Sounds good.
Seahawks 2.5-point favorites. Who do you guys have?
I went back and forth on this a million times. I'm in like a playoff pool where you got to pick against the spread. And I've picked with confidence in every single game, like just what my gut said. And like my gut just wasn't talking. So
wow, silent gut.
I ended up settling on Rams plus 2.5. And the main reason being because they won one game and then they lost one by one. So I'm like, all right, so maybe this game actually does come down to 1 or 2 points. Yeah. I'll take the extra boost.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Everything's telling you Seahawks, but with the Seahawks dominance, these are the two leaders in the NFL and certainly the NFC for point differential here. So you might feel like there's a bigger gap than there actually is. At the end of the day, it's the head coach advantage, it's the quarterback advantage, and both those go to the Rams. So give me the Rams.
Hank's a big Mike McDonald guy.
I am a big Mike McDonald guy.
McDonald's great.
He's incredible.
And Nwari has been amazing.
Right.
Perfect guy to kind of counter those multiple tight end sets.
A better
that
Kyle
they're
Hamilton,
running.
potentially.
Wow.
Yeah.
A more athletic Kyle Hamilton at the very least.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is crazy to think about. That secondary, the pass rush, DeMarcus Lawrence being so good. It's fun to see the former Cowboys go succeed somewhere else. Look what we got.
Look at this.
Wow.
The mayor.
Only available at the DNVR Bar and the DNVR Tailgate this week.
Stiddy City.
The Stiddy City.
That's a good looking shirt.
It's amazing. Holy cow.
It's great.
Wow. That is good.
What a view.
I took Rams.
Yeah, no, I've got to go Seahawks. They to me are just the best team in football. There was that like 4-game stretch where Sam Darnold really struggled, but he's bounced back since then. And so I just think better offense, better defense, and at home, I've got to take them. But again, Darnold has a tough game. We know that the Rams are capable of putting up points. It certainly isn't a guarantee. And then the Broncos, 4.5-point underdogs. I imagine we're all taking the points, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You got to come into Denver, win a game that you never have. Nah. Give me the Broncos and the points. At one point, largest spread ever for a underdog at home in an AFC Championship game. The teams that I believe were 4.5 or more are 4-0 against the spread. So, yeah, we're taking that. And we don't care about the spread.
Yeah.
I'm getting the dub.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just taking our boosted SGP at Bet365, where we've got Stiddy 200 plus passing yards, Evan Ingram 30 plus receiving yards, and Broncos money line. Plus 11 hundo on that one.
That's
good.
Nice.
Yeah, the homies at Bet365 hooked it up.
I made one where I just maxed out all of the options on Stiddy.
Max out.
Yeah.
What is the max on like passing yards?
I'll tell you in a second here. Just in case,
Just in case.
Right.
Just in case it happens, I want to be able to say I had it. 350 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, 28 completions.
What are the odds?
What if? Plus 20,000.
It's not bad.
Good. 200 to 1.
Not a bad chunk of change right there.
All right. On the other side, we're going to get Zac calling in, who I think at this very moment is watching the Broncos practice. I would imagine he has to leave watching the Broncos practice to call in. We'll see what kind of updates we're able to get from him. We're going to do that right after this break. The Broncos have a big game on Sunday, and, we'll be here at the DNVR Bar where we've got a bunch of great food, but there are a lot of people who are going to be watching this game from home, and Taco Bell is the way to level up your game day. They've obviously got all sorts of different options, the burritos and the tacos, but they also now have the quesarito back for a limited time. Nikola Jokic finally tried the quesarito. He liked it. He's a believer. And if it's good enough for Nikola Jokic, and it's good enough for you as well. So go check out the quesarita. It's awesome if you add the spicy volcano sauce, which they also brought back. Takes the heat up to another level. Get over to Taco Bell, celebrate the Joker, celebrate the Broncos, and pick up a volcano quesarito today. And while you're at it, don't forget to grab something from Taco Bell's crispy chicken menu, whether it's a taco, burrito, or strips. Taco Bell's crispy chicken delivers every time, and with football playoffs taking full effect, be the hero of the party. And don't forget to pick up a crispy chicken game day pack featuring chicken strips, soft tacos, and Taco Bell's amazing nacho fries. It's definitely a winning combination. Live Moss at Taco Bell. Also, want to give a shout out to our friends over at Rally House, where, you may have noticed I'm doing all these ads today. It's because RK was over at Rally House doing some shopping. And they've got so much good stuff. I first saw them through like Instagram ads. They had a whole bunch of good stuff there, but then they opened a store in Boulder. And everybody said, if you need Buffs gear, that's where you want to go. They've got all the teams: Nuggets, Avs, Rockies, Buffs, Rams, Rapids. If you're into soccer, they've got all sorts of different stuff, from the jerseys, the hoodies, pajamas, hats, memorabilia, whatever you need for game day on Sunday. Go to Rally House because they just have everything. It's a go-to spot to shop for all your favorite local Broncos team gear, tens of thousands of products. It's for the diehards. It's for the sickos. It's for the people who might have a lot of the things that are already for sale in other places. Game day starts here. Shop the most outrageous selection of Broncos gear at Rally House in-store at their 6 Denver and Boulder area locations, and online at rallyhouse.com. Back into the DNVR Broncos podcast. Our final podcast before game day, which is sad.
It is sad.
Presented by our friends at Bet365 and our friends over at Rally House from the Toyota Lounge. Still waiting on Zac.
Yeah.
Zac is pulling a Jeremy Crawshaw right now, seeing how cold his hands can get.
Right. So his hands probably are very cold. Broncos scheduled to have the open part of practice at 12:15. It's now 12:45, and they still haven't started that. So Zac hasn't seen anything. He might try to get out of there so he can call in real quick, but we don't have him right now. Even if we do get him, he's not going to have any insights because he hasn't seen the practice. Not that he could tell us what. Yeah. So we'll see if we get him in a couple of minutes.
You think Sean saw the walkthrough and was like, no, we're switching this up. We're doing it differently.
What I could actually see is Sean just being like, no, don't let him in today.
Yeah.
I'll just take whatever the Pro Football Writers Association does to me.
Yeah. We'll take the fine, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So on Fridays, they actually started having the linemen, probably around mid-season. All the linemen don't go to the beginning part of practice. They do the walkthrough, and then nobody really knows where they go. And you ask around, and they don't tell you, but it seems like they're in potentially the steam room, because they aren't really needed for whatever that first part of practice is. So it's extra recovery. Okay. And so you don't even know if the linemen are there because they don't show up until practice until we're kicked out of practice.
Yeah. Complete coincidence.
Right. But to be fair, before that, what they did was, so those drills at that point, they do the individual drills. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of throws over the shoulder. And so the receivers will practice throws over the shoulder, and the corners are told cover him for a second, but then let him make the catch. And then the second round will be corner gets to make the interception, wide receiver don't contest it. Since they didn't have anything to do with the linemen, they just had the linemen go through those drills as well. And so you just see Garrett Bowles catching a few balls over his shoulder on Fridays because there wasn't really anything else for him to do.
It's amazing.
It was great content.
Played out for Frank Crum.
It did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never know when that's going to pay off. That's why you practice it.
All right. Sounds like Zac's going to be here in just a second.
Someone asked if I'm going to the game. Yeah. I'm not.
It's big of you.
I was invited.
Going to work instead.
Yes, I'm going to be here. I wanted to be with the people.
The people need you.
Now might
more
be
than ever.
I need the people.
Yeah.
Might be a good time to say we have an extended pregame.
Yes.
11:45 is when it will kick off. Yes. We've got a bunch of stuff planned. Dre and the guys are going to be starting it out.
Yep.
RK and Benny and I will be at the tailgate doing some stuff there. We'll come back from the tailgate and handle the second half of the pregame, which will lead pretty close to kickoff. Then we got the watch along for the entire game, as always, and then post-game show, and then second post-game show. And then if all goes well, and we'll knock on wood, we'll do a third show after we know who the Broncos are playing in the Super Bowl. Again, if all goes well, we'll knock on wood. No jinxing anything.
We probably have a chance to set the record for most broadcast hours.
Right.
By a DNVR show.
I mean, last week came pretty close.
Yeah.
This people.
Right.
Yeah, and it's a Denver Sports triple header as well.
7.5 hours would probably be the number. I heard the jingle though, so Zach is here. Zach, you look cool.
There
Where'd
he
you get that
is.
hat? It's such a bright color.
It is a bright color. I don't know. I stole it from my wife because I know I needed an extra something on my head today.
Henry, how are we talking to Zach right now?
Oh, we are talking to Zach on the Xfinity mobile call-in line.
That's right.
Imagine that.
How did you know? What reminded you, Ryan?
I don't know. Just kind of like a hand of God just reached down and passed that down to me.
Right, just big bold letters just heard it.
Yeah.
So what's going on out there?
So I am outside the Broncos practice right now. They are practicing inside. And guys, I actually thought that they might practice outside because this is going to be very similar weather to what we experienced on Sunday. But I guess when it's cold, it's tough, as the Broncos defensive coordinator said. So they are inside for practice today. They were outside yesterday, but yesterday was about 15 degrees warmer than it is today. So I'm a little surprised that they're inside.
I'm a little surprised too, but we talked about this earlier, kind of made our predictions. I said the only thing that's holding me back from saying they're definitely practicing outside is that Sean's an offensive coach, and he probably just wants to get some good, clean offensive work in there with Jarrett Stidham at quarterback.
Yeah, you're 100% right. And I mean, when Vance had that quote, when it's cold, it's tough. What he was talking about is just like people don't have as much concentration, and I can attest to that right now. I'm not as concentrated.
You're not locked in right now?
Freezing cold. I'm trying to lock in. I don't have my tripod. I'm in the freezing cold, but it's great. Out at Broncos practice here. The Broncos are warm inside. The media's cold outside, but it's all good. And so, Ryan, I think you're absolutely right. Is he just wants everyone to lock in today, especially, I mean, this is Stidham's third practice leading the team. So just wants to get the best work possible today. And it is a shorter practice, too, more of a walkthrough speed. The linemen don't participate in this first half of practice. They actually stay indoors and do some body work on their body. That's how Sean's done it on Fridays for the past, or for this entire year. But they did walk out from the field house to go back inside after warmups. And man, some of these guys are wearing shorts and t-shirts, nothing else. That's a classic offensive lineman.
That is classic offensive lineman. And a perfect transition for my hard-hitting journalistic question to you is, how are we layered up? Are the Denver Outlaws in the mix under that jacket? Or with Stiddy starting, are we switching up our routines and stuff? How are you trying to help the Broncos come through with a historic win here?
What's the right answer, Dre? Is it good to switch up for Stidham, or do we keep what we had going?
We want the honest answer.
All is open-ended, so we could frame either way. We could frame it positively.
The honest answer is I had to switch it up for Stiddy because it's so cold. I imagine the Broncos are going to have to change things up with what they're wearing this week because of Stiddy and how freaking cold it is. But guys, what's crazy is Joe Lombardi, I can't believe he admitted this yesterday, but he said we're a warm weather team because all of our games have been played in warm weather. So he said hopefully we're ready for the cold.
Yeah, which would have been a decent reason to practice outside today, but in Sean we trust.
Yeah, 100%. In Sean we trust. The media just went in, so guys, I'm alone out here. It's just me and you and the Broncos outdoor facility.
Do you want to go? Do you need to leave, or are you good for a second?
I'm fine. I'm good. I'd rather stay with you guys.
Wow.
Oh, well, we might not have a choice. We just lost you.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I can't see him. I wonder.
There he
is.
No, this feels like a good day. Let me make the long call. Just go to overtime. Keep Zach hanging out.
See how long. You see, he had to switch hands at one point. You had to put one of those hands back in the pocket.
He did.
Warm it back up.
Yeah.
He did. I heard the jingle, so he might be back. There he is.
That was pretty funny timing. But guys, the reason that I disconnected is because I went to my notes to go find what I wanted to talk to you guys about today, and it disconnected me, but I was able to check the notes out. And so I want to blast some things off before I forget. This game, so Drake Maye has been sacked 58 times this season. The Broncos have 71 sacks this season in terms of sacking the quarterback. That combined number is the highest ever for one side of the ball in a conference championship game. That is fantastic news for the Broncos, because we saw how the Broncos last upset the Patriots and beat Tom Brady in the AFC Championship game. It was by hitting him over 20 times, sacking him, just causing him to be uncomfortable and in pain. That's the exact formula that is literally set up for this game for the Broncos, is to be able to get after Drake Maye, hit him when it's cold. When it's cold and you're getting hit, it's extra tough. So I see that is like a massive point in this game, and why honestly, like, the Broncos would certainly win if they had their starting quarterback, but why they definitely have a chance without their starting quarterback. And I talked to Benny on the phone last night, and he had some really fascinating insight. He said he's not worried at all for Jarrett Stidham in quarters 1 through 4, because that's when you game plan. That's when there's adrenaline. If it gets close in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes left, that's when you play up tempo and you're just playing. You're not thinking. He said quarters 2 and 3 is when it's going to be interesting and where the game can be won by keeping it close or lost because the offense isn't able to do anything. So he says that's where Sean is going to have to come out and be very good, is quarters 2 and 3. I found that very fascinating coming from a player that has been in these scenarios as well. And what else do I have? I don't want to disconnect.
Yeah.
There's got to be a way to check it. Well,
could it be? Oh, he decided to check. Zach.
It's all right. It's all right. He'll come back.
He'll be back. Any
right
guesses?
back.
I would guess it's going to be Harold Landry.
No,
you don't think so?
no. I think it's going to be another stat.
Okay. It's tough to guess what the stat could be.
I know.
Can't be the home
Could it be
field
about
advantage.
how Jarrett Stidham caught a 65-yard touchdown pass in the Texas State Championship game?
I would bet no, but it could be. Oh, there he is. Okay, we got Zach back. Okay, what was your final note?
Okay, so a couple of
next
notes. First, there is a true excitement around Jarrett Stidham. Like, obviously the fan base is excited and embracing this opportunity challenge in a unique way that is so cool. But inside the building, we've heard it publicly. I've heard about it privately as well. It's not just like, yeah, he can do this. It's we're excited to see Jarrett Stidham play because we've seen him play on the practice field. And that is just something. Oh, here we go. Stiddy City, baby.
Yeah.
Let's go. And I mean, like, there's a true excitement to see him play, not just like confidence that he can do well, but people actually want to see him play. And that's exciting to hear and to know that that's how much they trust him. Is it's not just like, yeah, we have confidence in our backup. It's like, no, we're pumped to see him. Obviously, they want Bo out here, but they're pumped to see him. Also, I had another note. Oh, did you guys see? I'm sure you guys saw the moment between Jarrett and a ghost Bo Nix yesterday during warm-ups. The high five. That shows that how much Bo means to Jarrett, and they're best friends. And I just think that's so cool. And I just think that points to the emotional boost that the Broncos are going to get when they pan to Bo during the game, not just the fans, but I also think it's going to pump the players up and give them that little extra something. And man, it just seems like there's always something special at Mile High. And this is just another extra thing that's going to make it special because Bo is back in town. So I fully expect him to be at the game in one of those suites.
Love that.
Wow. What do you think of Elway being the honorary captain?
I love it. Absolutely love it. John's been a part of every Super Bowl team or every team that's won a Super Bowl. So I absolutely love that they're bringing him back and having this. No one better than this.
Yeah. All right.
Oh,
just can't wait.
and Harold Landry. I'll check that
I
out.
knew it. There you go.
Right there. I can still hear you guys when I leave. You just can't hear me. But yeah, Harold Landry. Guys, that's huge. I mean, just another thing going the Broncos' way. Everything but one major thing is going the Broncos' way so far with this game, which is awesome and terrible all at the same time. But at least there's something going their way right now. And guys, I don't know, Drake, I think this cold weather actually benefits the Broncos because honestly, we don't know how the Broncos play in cold weather. That's just the honest to goodness truth because they haven't done it. The coldest game they played in was the Washington Commanders game, and it was cold, but it wasn't freezing cold like this. We know how Drake Maye plays in the cold, at least as of recently, and that is very turnover prone. 10 sacks in the past 2 games, which have been cold, 6 fumbles, which could definitely happen in this weather with how freaking cold it is. It's only going to get colder and colder, and a couple of interceptions as well. So I actually think the cold favors the Broncos, even though it doesn't fully make sense.
Yeah. Did you know about Jarrett Stidham in the Texas High School State Championship game?
No, tell me about it.
Oh, he caught a 65-yard touchdown.
He caught one? Oh,
Yeah.
my gosh.
He was actually a receiver his freshman and sophomore year. And then when he became the starting quarterback, he broke his finger at one point. And they were in a playoff game. And he was like, "Coach, you got to let me play. You got to let me play." He's like, No, you're not playing. You're not playing. He comes in. Well, no. So then the backup goes out there. First drive of the game, throws a pick. Other team goes and scores. Stidham goes up and
Later,
says,
Zach.
Bye, Zach.
he's going to miss the best part.
Yeah,
Stidham goes up
didn't
and
like your story.
and says, "Coach, put me in."
Wow.
Finally, he says, "Okay." Puts Jarrett Stidham in. Jarrett Stidham goes and throws 6 touchdowns with a broken finger.
That's pretty good.
That's insane.
That's very good. Before we get out of here, we got a couple of super chats to hit.
Credit to Pardon My Take for that one, by the way.
Oh, wow.
And credit to
Good research.
Xfinity for the call.
Hey, yes, Xfinity Mobile call-in line. Imagine that.
Imagine that, baby.
2M's says, I'm a teacher in the Boston area. I think I need this win more than anyone. Yes.
Yeah.
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 Win it for 2 M's.
It is worth like tens of millions of dollars to Jarrett Stidham, though. He might need it a little bit more.
He doesn't need
He
it,
wants
though.
it. He wants it. He's got a good life.
He's
He
already
wants
a
it.
multimillionaire.
He is. Unless he's been irresponsible. Kids are expensive.
That's true.
Neem Dog. Do we think Sean is going to utilize 2 back formations with Harvey and Dobbins? Could maybe help disguise pass plays to RJ. Go Broncos. Stiddy season.
I don't think so. But it would be sick. What if Sean Payton just pulls out some go-go concepts?
Yeah. Yeah. I think you could see some of it because we've seen it before. It forces the defense into weird decisions. Put both of them out there.
It just means that a pass catcher is going to have to come off the field.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we've seen a lot of Prentice.
We have seen a lot of
That's
Prentice.
your two.
Sean
back.
had Prentice lining up at wide receiver last week.
Right.
He was
incredible.
doing all of his favorite stuff.
Wyoming Cowboy. I cannot wait to go to this game with 76,000 of my best friends. We'll cheer too much and too loud to get cold. There's a
Yeah.
good strategy.
Yeah. Just all right.
Drinking,
This is
too.
just between us. Like no one's listening.
Yeah.
Right.
Sneak in like 14 shooters of Fireball.
Can't
You'll
be
be
that hard.
fine. You'll be fine.
There's no way you get caught.
That is the strategy.
No way.
Like you only get caught doing that at like college football games.
You just don't get caught. Just like tape them to your body. You can do
Right.
anything. You have so many
Right.
layers on.
Right.
Right. There are a lot of layers.
Wow.
Rod Blocker. The Big 4 edition shows up Sunday. Ufunga, Greenlaw, Dobbins, and Ingram. They'll all be big this week. That's my bold prediction. Bonito, house call, fumble, or interception. Casa Bonito. We would like that.
Be incredible. Also, I was seeing the chat talking about a 99-yard pick from Pat to replicate the I feel like something like that's coming.
That
I
would
just feel it in my bones.
I think Patriots fans feel that too.
Yeah.
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 Because they're not talking the way that they should be about this. I can feel the fear in their bones.
I agree.
I
Pretty
love it.
glorious.
Arvada Luke. I work for Stiddy City Waste Management. Can't wait to be processing the Pat Sunday night. Can we get a patented Dre Fire Me Up Friday rant, please?
Wow, on the spot.
Do you need a
Wow.
couple minutes to prepare?
On the spot.
We could go after the super chats if that'd be easier.
That's fine.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I
Yep.
know it takes
Yep.
you a second to
Yep.
get. Think
Sure.
about something that makes you mad.
Sure.
Neem Dog. In my opinion, inside linebackers need a huge game. We know our corners will do the job. I think if we kill the run and intermediate pass game, Drake will fold.
I just feel like everyone thinks that Drake Maye in this game is a given. And I couldn't disagree more.
Yeah. What's your percentage that we leave the game saying like, oh, Drake Maye played better than Jarrett Stidham?
50-50?
Yeah. I was going to go like 60-40.
I'm maybe 40-60.
I mean,
I feel like all the pressure's on him. Stiddy's just
Right.
playing with house money.
Well, other than the tens of millions of dollars on the line and his legacy.
what's crazy is like
Well, I mean, yeah, sure.
the Patriots kind of still haven't defeated the schedule merchant thing.
No.
And even if they win this week, they still don't really get to defeat
I
it
mean,
because they're going up against a backup quarterback.
they played less than 5 playoff teams, and 2 of those were the Bills that they split with.
But
another was the Steelers that they lost to.
They got the Chargers, who were falling apart. The wheels were basically off at that point. And then they got the Texans, who CJ Stroud just forgot how to play football.
Yes.
Yeah, so in the regular season, they were 1-2 against AFC playoff teams.
They only had, 240 yards of offense last week?
Yeah.
Drake Maye hasn't been good in the playoffs. He was great in the regular season.
Yep.
We'll
And
see.
you're kind of beat up on defense. The defense has carried you in the playoffs.
Rod Blocker says, shout out the Big Four, hooping 2 years straight, 4 players with 7+ sacks. This is a different Big Four, to be clear.
I mean, what a team
Franklin,
that we have 2 Big Fours.
2 Big Fours. That's 8. Franklin, Allen, Bonitto, and Cooper. I think our defense only lets up 1 touchdown, 3 field goals. Denver 30-16.
Who wears number 8?
Stidham. You love a sign, an omen. Yeah, you do like an omen.
Dang.
Matthews. It's going to be some DT magic coming on Sunday. I'm truly believing that this team will get the dub. It'd be fun. Any win is obviously great, but the Stidham big game, big throws at the very least to win the game would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
What number did Demaryius Thomas wear?
88.
2 8s.
Right.
Dang.
A lot of 8s.
And
Dang.
Jarrett Stidham threw 2 touchdowns to him in a preseason game once.
Wow.
For the Patriots.
If you're Sean Payton, after your first touchdown, do you go for 2 to make it 8?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
That's the way to go, no doubt.
Rod Blocker again. Rod Blocker, big day.
Yeah, legend.
Sean said
Thank
during
you,
the draft process with Bo that we have a process at that position that we know what we're doing. Not many can say that. Stiddy City, stand up, LFG.
Let's go.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Shiggle gets, which
It's fine.
you flip the letters around. Yeah, it's kind of funny.
Yeah,
$20 says Broncos win over the Bills on Saturday. Celebrated 2 years of sobriety on Monday.
Let's
Good
go.
work. Now this
Congratulations.
win over the Patriots on Sunday, denying a second team who's supposed to beat us, will just make this week more epic. Denver Broncos for life.
Hell yeah, man. Congratulations on your sobriety.
Congrats, Shiggle gets.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. Rusty Cleveland. Suggestion box. Any chance we can one day get a routine DNVR segment / group for Denver sports betting? Asking for my fellow DNVR diehards.
Yeah, I mean, we had it at one point.
We did.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Very select few people felt that way.
There was a small group who really enjoyed that show a lot.
Yeah.
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 Colin Morikawa.
It's like the
Yeah.
never nudes. There are dozens of us.
Right.
Calling for Colin. Yeah.
Dirty Beard. In from New Hampshire. When can I get to the bar? LFB. Bar opens at 3 today.
Yep.
I don't know when it opens tomorrow. And then Sunday, probably open all day. We'll be here all day. Probably won't be here tomorrow. But yeah, I would say if you're coming to the bar for the game on Sunday, there's a chance we hit capacity. So if you show up right at kickoff, you might not be able to get in.
Would not recommend showing up at kickoff.
Right. If you want a table, probably want to get here hour and a half before kickoff.
There might be people lining up outside the door.
There will be people lining up.
Yeah.
There will be people
Well,
lining
we
up.
open up at 8:30 a.m.
There's no reason not to be here at 8:30 a.m.
Yeah.
If you're coming for the game, come get some breakfast, bottomless mimosas. Yeah.
Have a day.
Yep.
Oh, well, I was just about to say something and I lost my train.
You
of
want
thought.
my fire up?
Oh, right. That we did have one more thing.
Wait, what was that super chat about?
When can you get to the bar?
Oh, I was gonna say I'll be here tonight.
Oh, you will?
Like 4 o'clock. So
Okay.
if anyone wants to
What are
come.
you doing here for?
I'm just meeting a friend.
Nice.
And then I'm going to the Avs game tonight.
Oh, I think I might
Wow.
be going to Avs game.
Sweet.
Yes.
Go to the DU game.
Oh, who do they play?
St. Cloud State. Shout out St. Cloud
Right.
State.
Somehow that's a really big game. Doesn't sound like it should be,
I know.
but hockey's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
St. Cloud State's awesome.
Can't
Herb
miss the
Brooks
St. Cloud
started
State
that
game.
program.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I went to a wedding in St. Cloud once.
Hell yeah.
Weird
I
little
remember
place.
that. Yep.
Yeah.
That's where my grandpa grew up.
Right. I remember that.
Yep. At which Herb Brooks, great way to segment into my fire up speech
Yeah.
because that's the miracle on ice, you know? And you're playing with house money.
Yep.
You have the opportunity on Sunday to do something epic, something unexpected, to live out one of the great days of our fandom. Add it to It's All Over Fat Man. Add it to the fumble. Add it to the drive. Add it to DT with Tebow. Add it to Champ's 99-yard pick, almost 6. We have the chance to live through one of those this Sunday, and I cannot wait. It's like RK said on Saturday night, what do we have to lose? Nothing.
Not a thing.
Absolutely nothing to lose. This inexperienced Pats team is coming in to their house of horrors, the place that's given their rinky-dink franchise until 20 years ago nightmares, and then continued to give them nightmares. And they don't want to say it, but they're terrified because all the pressure's on them. We just got to go out, see what happens, you know? So let's see what fucking happens. Let's make some history on Sunday, and let's go out and live out one of the great days of Broncos fandom. Let's go, baby.
All right. That's going to do it till game day. Like I said, we'll be live again 11:45, and we'll talk all the way up to kickoff and be live all day. Hopefully it's a good day, and we'll see you guys then.
God bless Jarrett Stidham. God bless Bo Nix.
We all silly like the mayor.